you, Steve, and thank you for inviting me to speak today. As Steve alluded, I'm part of a national team of sport welfare officers based in the country. I'm based in Somerset, in Somerset Activity and Sports Partnership, or SASP as it's known. Steve asked me to speak about the resources we can help to provide in the county, and our area is from Wellington down in the south over towards Wincanton, Yeovil, up to Cheddar. My colleagues north of that area, Westport, will cover practitioners who work Bristol, Bath and the north of Somerset. So we're very much in the traditional part of Somerset. SASP itself has a great asset of helping people in Somerset to be active in as many ways as we can. Some of you may know us for funding activities, holiday provision, mentoring, working with adults and children in social care. So we have very many strings to our bow, but my role is sport welfare. So as I mentioned previously, I'm part of a national network where there are over 60 officers. There's or at least one of me in every county in the country. We are part of the Sport England's United the Movement strategy, which is one of the commitments which have come about as a policy response to the White Review. This was a review led by and White QC, and it heard from individuals, parents, participant gymnasts, carers, coaches, into allegations which were made. And as a result of that, the network was set up. It was set up towards the end of 2023, and the majority of us came into post in 2024. So I've been in post more or less 2 years now. We're created to work with national governing bodies and clubs, and our remit is basically to add capacity. We don't replace national governing bodies. So, for example, if you're a football club, the FA will provide the governance and policy for your sport. If you're a rugby club, the RFU, England Rugby, will do the same, etc., etc. But we work alongside them, and we work to enhance the offer. We attend national governing body events, we attend clubs with our NGB colleagues, or sometimes in place of them. Sometimes national governing bodies will only have 1 or 2 people in the whole country that look after safeguarding and welfare. And we add capacity by saying, actually, I can go to a club in Somerset and I can be there on the ground to support them, where the national governing might be in Loughborough or in London, for example. It's easier for me to get to a club and provide bespoke support than someone who has to travel 4, 5, 6 hours on a train. Okay, we do support with guidance. We do always refer back to the national governing body's information. We do share best practice. That's one of the things we do actually really relish, is helping people to connect with each other. And this slide, we can see the 4 pillars that the national team have asked us to connect with. So I've already mentioned we support club volunteers to meet, we share best practice, we run, or I run, forums with networking ideas, with training. We have face-to-face meetings, and one of the things I offer in Somerset is a closed Facebook group, so welfare officers can join that, and we share upcoming events, ideas, funding opportunities, anything I think that the club welfare officers, safeguarding officers will find useful. The support pillar, I can come into your club and work to find exactly what you would like help with. I'm going to talk a bit later on about what that might look like and how we can help. Raising awareness. I've done a lot this year, attending events either at national level, generally in the Southwest. For example, I've attended Pentathlon event in Bath, Last weekend, I was at the RYA, which is the Royal Yachting Association, their national event, where I met some club members from Somerset and further afield. And in that, we helped with some forums. I've done some training at these events and supported in ways where we've enabled general participants to learn about others in their field. And finally, on to the enable pillar. Some of us are licensed to deliver training. I myself train for 2 organisations in safeguarding or welfare practice. But if we don't know a subject or can't provide training in a subject, we aren't licensed, for example, we can either find a trainer to come in and talk or facilitate training courses for people. The majority of what we do, the majority of times we come into your club or visit with an MGB, for example, is totally free. It's totally free to you. We have funding to supply the network. The only thing you would have to pay for if it's an accredited course, for example, a UK Coaching Time to Listen or Safeguarding Protecting Children, there would be a minimal cost for that. It shows our impact. So for the past 2 years, we've been working with all sports. And I think now in Somerset, I have connected with every sport. I put my neck on the line and say it's every sport I've connected with. I certainly haven't connected with every club. But what we don't do is we don't do case management. We frankly don't have time to do that. We work with children, with adults, with all players, all participants. We work with coaches, volunteers, and with NGB support, we help clubs to be the best they can be. And I think that's quite important for clubs to empower themselves and to take control of what they're doing, but with a little bit of support, not having to speak to the national governing body, but to know there's someone local that can support and help them. So in SASP, what I've been doing in Somerset is going into clubs this year and doing some quite bizarre things in some ways. I've been asked to come and help just support out a conflict with a couple of members, for example, and facilitating conversations. We've been helping clubs that can't connect with some of their members by creating a survey, not for us to send out to them, but for the club to have a way of enabling a survey to take place so that they can connect with their members and find out some answers to some questions. Safeguarding policies. Every club with a welfare officer should actually have a safeguarding policy, which gives the policy, the guidance, the legal aspects of how it should be run. Most national governing bodies will have some type of template, and we can help access that. Or if they don't, we can help do a bespoke policy for the club. I've helped a couple of clubs with recruitment of club welfare officers, and that can be quite a challenge because everybody's very time poor. Everybody has either a job or a family, sometimes both, and sometimes we just don't have time to give a bit more. So it's suggesting to the club that maybe 2 people can do that role rather than just 1 person, and let's split the role. Let's help you as a club to do that. And that's what I've been doing in a couple of clubs. I'm actually working with a club right now to get more volunteers to help them recruit more people, because it's never healthy in a club for 1 person or 2 people to do everything. You need to share the load, and then it becomes a more enjoyable experience. So the people who are volunteering can actually enjoy the sport as well. National governing body events I've talked about. This is a picture here at the bottom. I went over the border into Devon and I helped Paddle UK. I presented some time to listen training with some of their participants there. Very hot day in November. Which was absolutely lovely, unlike today. We've been doing some club development, helping clubs to learn about the assets of their volunteers. A club that's got children will have parents. The parents will have skills, will be able to help, and helping those volunteers to empower the parents to become part of the pub so everybody feels part of what they're doing. We run quarterly forums, and that's as part of the Southwest role that I'm part of. When we belong to the Southwest, so that's Cornwall, Devon, Somerset. My colleagues in Westport, Gloucester, Dorset, and Wiltshire. We form a cluster of sport welfare officers, and we run a quarterly forum. The next one, which we've got in February, we're planning this week actually. We're planning a guest speaker to come along and deliver a whole session on recruitment of members, and that is looking really good. I've seen some of the slides, and that does look really exciting. All the information will be sent out to people very soon. I thought it might be useful to see what I've actually been up to in Somerset, and you can see here some interesting photos. There's a picture of me drumming at a local majorette troupe. I'm having a go at bowls. Be pleased to know I didn't actually get on a yacht at the yacht show. It was quite cold that day. My friends at Somerset Pickleball are there. The Bowmen of Danesfield, I'm pictured with them. I visited them in the summer. Those of you who have got a keen eye will see Sharon Davis, who I met at a pentathlon event. These are all great pictures, but there was a purpose to my visit to the clubs. We do like to enjoy whatever activity people want to have a look at and invite us to enjoy. So, you are welcome to invite me along. I won't say I will do everything that you invite me to do, but we do like to do that. But there is a serious reason for me visiting the club. Just a critical eye over policies is something that's useful. Someone different coming in and have a look at your policy and just saying, have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? That might be useful. Supporting clubs when something goes wrong. If an allegation is made, if someone is accused of something in your club, it can be quite scary. It can be a lonely thing to do if you're on your own as a welfare officer, as a safeguarding officer, and something happens and you just think, actually, I don't know who to turn to. Is there someone at the NGB that I can't get hold of, or can I just talk to someone locally? And I'm happy to talk to clubs. My work isn't restricted to Monday to Friday 9 to 5. With notice, I can be at your club on a weekend. So I'm taking bookings now for January and February. So if you wanted me to come into your club on a weekend with notice, I can do that. But I do have quite a flexible diary, and I can do that. Friendly face for volunteers, helping clubs to be inviting for their volunteers. That's something that I think is important in clubs. You'll see a picture of Burnham on Sea. I was at the Yachting Club and the Cornish Gib Pilot Rowing Association up there, and that's on the top here. You can see we're all having a bit of a smile because I can't remember what we were talking about at the moment, but it's fun to be in a sports club. It's a nice place to be, and to help people to find the joy in being on a committee. So that it's not really a challenge to be part of it, and to help with the running of the club is something a lot of people like to do, but sometimes they just need that extra bit of support locally. I can help clubs connect with agencies and peers across all sports, because if there's something that goes wrong in your football club, your rugby club, your hockey club, your swimming club, you can bet your bottom dollar that it will happen in a club in a different town in Somerset or the country in a very similar way. There's nothing that has happened in your club that hasn't happened somewhere else. So if I can't help, I will find someone else who's been through that before and can definitely help you. Okay, so what we've had going on across our forums and workshops so far this this year, we've been doing quite a few active bystander behaviour events, and active bystander is knowing the right thing to do if something happens and providing support so that people who witness something either at a club, and it does actually extend into general life, if you see something, doing nothing won't help, but doing something might, and we do the training to provide the tools to help. That's against violence for women and girls, anything to do with supporting boys and men who have issues, and also in any type of something that goes on that you just don't feel right about. So what I'd like to do is just talk to you about some of the other things we've been doing and what's coming soon. One of the things I've created in the last 2 months is Welfare Wednesday. And it does actually set what it says on the tin. It's on a Wednesday, and we talk about welfare, or in fact any club development issues you might have. It's run at lunchtime and again in the evening. Sometimes there's 1, 2 people turn up. Sometimes we have 5, 6. It's for a chat. It's for support. It's for advice. Sometimes, in fact, the last couple of weeks, I've had one person from the same club come along just to talk about an issue they've been having, that they don't want to bother the local authorities, they don't want to bother the national governing body, and it's just some knowledge and some advice they want that we can talk about. And we've chatted for 2 weeks now, and that's nice. It means that I'm helping in their club with something that might be really useful for them. As I said earlier, we do provide training, so Time to Listen, which is UK coaching based, which is for club welfare officers. That's obviously if your national governing body doesn't have their own version of welfare training, safeguarding training. For example, the FA will have their own, and so will England Rugby have their own for their safeguarding welfare officers. But some national governing bodies don't, and then we can help you to provide the Time to Listen ones. We also do Safeguarding Protecting Children, which is another UK coaching. For these 2 courses, there will be a minimal cost, and that's for coaches and volunteers who don't have that provided by their national governing body, or want to do a bit of extra learning, of course. This week, we've just run a dementia awareness course with our friends from Reminiscence Learning. We provided them some space and worked very nicely with a bowls club locally in Taunton. We had 20 participants turn up for that, some from the club, some from the wider sporting community, and some from the local community who came along to learn about dementia awareness. A great session, and I've been asked to repeat that, so that will be happening again next year. As part of the Southwest cluster of sport welfare officers, I mentioned back in the summer, in June, we had our festival of training, and we're going to be repeating that this coming summer. We've already started talking about some of the sessions we're going to repeat, such as social media training and such as mental health training. We're going to be doing some neurodiversity training. As well as a plethora of other items of training, which we're just finalising. We will advertise fully March, April time, but there will be something you can access. And it won't all be online. Some of it will be online, some of it will be face to face. But for you to access things across the whole of the Southwest, where you'll be having trainers come across, actual experts in their field to come and talk. So we are aiming for about 15 sessions across the month, which people can take part in and join in with. One of the things that has gone live today, and I'm quite excited to be invited to to be asked to help with was part of the Somerset Safeguarding Children's Partnership. Been working with a colleague there, and today we've gone live with the web page, which is Safeguarding in Sport. So as part of their website, there is a page to help with resources in sport. There is also a link on there to the P-pod, the podcast I recorded with Steve probably 6 weeks ago now. Gosh, doesn't time fly? As well as a plethora of resources and a link back to the SASP website, the sport welfare part of the website. So that's quite exciting, and does provide some more resources and obviously contact details, which brings me to the contact details, which are on the screen now. Should you wish to make contact, and you're very welcome to make contact either by WhatsApp, email, or take a note of the website there, where you can contact me. As I say, I am booking details for and visits for January, February. I can't promise I'm going to know the answer to everything. If I can't, I will find someone that can, but I want to help more people to enjoy sports in more ways, and that doesn't need to be an organised sport. It can be an activity they do through a leisure centre, a club, or just to be more active in whatever they do. And if I can help with welfare and sport and creating a better culture in the club, that's something I really want to do. I really enjoy what I do, and I like to help people with that. So thank you very much for asking me to speak today, Steve. I hope it's been useful for you, and I look forward to connecting with people again soon. Thank you.